My opponent took a mulligan. We do have a Thoughtseize here. We have an Uro. But I think, you know, the odds are great here of getting a nice start going. Now, usually I'd want to wait here on the Thoughtseize. But I think we're going to do it because my opponent mulliganed. They played a tap land. Ooh. Well, I know what my opponent's playing. I think the picks here are between Matron and Snoop. Matron to stop Muxus, obviously Snoop to slow them down in terms of card advantage. We take them. I guess we'll take the Matron here. You know, deny them the inevitability of Muxus. Especially with the Wily Goblin. You know, accelerating them, it's pretty scary. Oh, and they drew a Prospector. Nice. Well, we're going to play Breeding Pool. Tapped, I guess. We'll play another Thoughtseize. I guess now we take Snoop to keep them off of getting more cards. I mean, now we really hope we get that third land draw. Just be really unlucky and miss it, and that'd be brutal. If they sack a Goblin here to get their Chieftain down. No, they played in the Prospector. I guess we pass. I could try to wait, Fatal Push something else, but I think we just need to be playing like, or well, it's tough. If we draw land and it's you can play Uro, and then if we hit another land, we can Fatal Push the War Chief, but it just seems too risky to me. I don't think it's too likely to get a land and then hit another untapped Black Source. Run the numbers, but I don't think it's likely. Just need to hit a land now. No. Oh god. Four draws later, nothing. I'm on a 2-turn clock, so if I don't find something, I'm just dead soon. Oh, I'll do it. Can you believe that? Oh my god. Brutal games. Okay. You got the Shark Typhoon, no doubt. Eliminate can go away. Maybe take out an Extinction Event, just kind of slow. We can take out an Uro in favor of a Grafdigger's Cage, just to keep them from, you know, Muxusing out. Maybe I should have put in the Disdainful Stroke too. That's another answer to Muxus. Things for next time, things for next time. Okay. Okay, this hand doesn't look terrible. We have more than 2 lands. Already progress. Okay, we'll start with the Overgrown Tomb tapped, play an island next turn for a Growth Spiral. Get another Overgrown Tomb into play to turn on Cry the Canarian. I guess we'll Growth Spiral now in case we hit a Thoughtseize on the draw. Thoughtseize a turn early. Okay, now we get a Fatal Push. I guess I'll put it into play tapped. Right, I mean if I shock it, then it's going to be obvious I have a Fatal Push up. Stealing some information here, maybe getting them to play into something less than ideal. They play a Soul Guide Lantern for Phyrexian Tower, sure. We can play Zagath Triome. Alright, I did take out 1 Uro before, so only have 2 Uros. Not too concerned with filling up the yard. I have Nissa kind of as a win con, right? Deploying now. I don't have black mana either. So they can't even like Noxious Grass if they had for some reason sideboarded that in. It'd be interesting to see if they crack the Soul Red Lantern here just to draw a card. But they don't. They keep it up. Excuse me, so maybe they're just more fearful of Uro than they are of... I don't know. Needing more cards, so maybe they have a good hand, but are just having trouble deploying it. Okay, we're definitely fatal pushing that Wily Goblin into their turn. So they can't like Muxus or something with the Phyrexian Tower mana. Okay, so it resolves. In my turn. Down Catacomb. AU +1. So my opponent has 4 mana right now. There's the 1 off of Muxus. We can cry next turn. We could even. Oh, we don't want to double cry because I'll kill my land. It'd be a shame. But most of their things, I think almost all of their things, right, are only 2 power, 2 toughness, except for Muxus. And of course, that'll. Oh, this Krenko, I guess. Krenko could survive a single cry of the Carnarium. The Goblin Matron. Or Muxus, undoubtedly. Oh, Skirk Prospector. Let's see if they run it out. Ooh, they do. Sounds good to me, opponent. Sounds good to me. My deck is not helping me out at all. We are just getting land after land. But we will attack first, then cry to maximize damage, of course. See how greedy my opponent wants to be. In terms of blocking or not blocking. Okay, they block sack. Okay, and they draw a card. I guess I should have been more careful. My choice of lands. Oh, wait a minute, it's auto-tapping me. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna say, wait a minute, I should have enough. Okay, so then we'll cry. Get rid of their Skirk Prospector. Make them have to have a land in their hand in order to cast Muxus. And then they'd even have to sacrifice their treasure token on top of that. We already have 3 attackers on board, so this is looking pretty good, I think, right now for us. Again, precluding any kind of insane Muxus. Okay. Okay, they see it, they call it. We go to game 3. And like I said, I'm going to bring in the Disdainful Stroke this time. The question is what to take out. I guess another Extinction Event. It being in a Languish. Maybe Maelstrom Pulse, we take out one of those in favor of keeping in an Extinction Event. Just another good board wipe. We could even just take out the Uros. We did see them having a decent amount, or at least a copy of Graveyard Hate. I don't know, tough call. There's also Elder Gargaroth we could consider bringing in, but I don't want to tap out on 5. We'll give this a shot, taking that extra Disdainful Stroke, see if that's going to be enough to save us. Well, we do have that Grafdigger's Cage. I don't want to run it out T1 probably, just to maybe affect my opponent's decisions with their Goblin Matrons or things like that. Play a Wily Goblin. Sure. Play a Swamp, pass the turn. Next turn we can play a Fabled. If they play something scary like a Krenko, we can play the Fabled. Opponent plays Herald's Horn. Sure. Well, like I said, we'll play the Fabled. Now we'll play the Grafdigger's Cage. Because if they have a land, I could play Muxus next turn. Pass the turn. We're not a goblin, so we don't see what it is. Play Goblin Chieftain, okay. See what they pick, I guess. They pick a Muxus. Interesting. And somewhat scary. Means I might have some way to deal with my Grafdigger's Cage. Or they're just hoping to run Muxus out as a big beater. But we're gonna Fatal Push the Chieftain. So makes them only have one creature. Also the Thoughtseize, and that's actually incredible right now. If they have any kind of means of destroying the cage, we'll find out. A Braid looks like a way to deal with cage, and we'll say no thank you. I'm taking that over the Muxus because they can find more Muxies with Herald's Horns, but they do find a Goblin Chieftain here, so I'll probably be running out Languish next turn. Yep, there's the Goblin Chieftain, so I'll be taking another 10 life here. Not great. I also have Krenko. Am I dead here? Oh my god. What a 2. Oh my god. Oh, this is not good. There's no second swamp! Oh no. Reid, what have you done? Reid! No, what have you done? Are you kidding me? No! Ah! Oh, it's brutal. Languish, Cry, only one black source. Okay. Keep 7 here. Start with the Fabled, grab an island. T2, play the Forest. Shock and Overgrown, play Thoughtseize. Do that. Do the good play. My opponent mulls to 5. Tough call. Opponent on 4 cards. We're gonna just focus on getting our advantage going. Do the play I mentioned initially. That might be Neostorm too. If they mulligan that aggressively and didn't do something else, didn't just give up on that point. And what kind of deck mulls to file in the play? I guess if you have to, you have to. But Animal Thoughtseize. The Fae of Wishes, I guess. You have Cry for Brazen. They can't even actually use it right now. Because they don't have two, or they had to play a tap land there. Light out their Stomping Grounds instead. I guess they didn't have to, they could have jocked it in, but not wanting to, evidently. I think we're happy with Aether Gusting here. Gonna get rid of it. Wanna place a Lucky Clover. Play Breeding Pool. Play Nissa. Immediately +1 here. We can do that on the Tomb, so we have Eliminate up. Now they can Petty Theft Nissa, but they're gonna lose their Brazen Borrower in the process. Because they only have one valid target, and the copy will resolve first, meaning the original is going to fizzle. But, I mean, it would slow me down. And it's non-land, so that's why their target fizzles. It's a bold move doing that with no cards in hand. Yeah. There's some kind of team or adventure list, it seems like. So I guess we could try to go for value, maybe put in some disdainful strokes or negates for things like Genesis Ultimatum, right? One of the big payoffs for these types of decks, because they also kind of naturally get a lot of mana ramp. They can make these big haymaker plays. But I guess we bring in the second Aether Gust as well. It's going to be very helpful, I think. Maelstrom Pulse will be good. Extinction Event will be good because a lot of their creatures are going to be a single mana cost. CMC, it's gonna, or you know, they're all going to be odd, I should say, as opposed to being even. Take out a Nissa on the draw. I also see taking out an Uro on the draw, I guess. I don't know. See if my opponent gets a keepable hand this time. Now, this looks pretty good. We have Thoughtseize, Stroke, Maelstrom Pulse. I think we'll start with the Fabled, grab an island so we can ensure we get future great plays, then do a T2 Thoughtseize. See what my opponent's working with. Okay, it's a Lucky Clover. I'll crack the Fabled now. Even though I guess I don't really have to. Oh, well, we get rewarded for doing that. We'll Overgrown Tomb, Growth Spiral, put Lockthwain into play. Then we'll Thoughtseize with the untapped Castle Lockthwain. And again, we get to see what my opponent is working with. They have a Glorybringer, Brazen Borrower, and a Lovestruck Beast. We have Disdainful Stroke for the Glorybringer, so we don't have to worry about that right now, I guess. Let's take the Lovestruck Beast. It's the most direct problem I have. I can make a Crisis as well, it's going to be big enough to stop the Borrower. No! Ooh, I am sorry, opponent, but you are going to be having a rough time, my friend. That is brutal. Now we have Essence Scatter and Disdainful Stroke backup. So if my opponent tries to play it safe in terms of, you know, trying to play Borrower at instant speed, you're going to get punished by the Essence Scatter. And we even have Disdainful Stroke backup, so it's almost like the perfect thing to do to get them to play Glorybringer. Yep. Essence Scatter you. Disdainful Stroke. Oh, I find a Nissa as well. We'll grab a Forest, Fable Passage. Play Nissa. Plus one on the Catacombs, I guess. But that is one of my only mana. One of my only two ways to make blue mana, but we have another Triumph, so I'll have another way in case I remove my Catacomb. But now my opponent has 2 cards left in hand, only 5 mana. So they're still 2 turns at least away from Genesis Ultimatuming, assuming they don't have some ramp. They have a Hydro Crisis and a Nissa. Yeah, so this is just looking good. They have a Scavenging Goose. They have 3 cards in their graveyard as well, with which they can munch on. But they're going for my graveyard instead, I guess. I do have a pretty rich graveyard right now. I guess we'll start with the Thoughtseize, see what they have in their hand. Lovestruck. Okay. Well, they've only left up 1 mana for Scavenging Use, so they can't double scavenge. We can get what to get a lot. That's informative. I think we can get 10 mana if we spend it all and then untap a land. Which we will. We'll get 8. Crisis for 8. Feels good, feels good. Okay, opponent. Start some scavenging. Okay. That's enough for my poor opponent there. Yeah, that was a thrashing. And this time my opponent goes first. We have an Uro and Nissa. Not the fastest hand, but I think we'll keep. Opponent plays a mountain and nothing else. A little scary. 2-1. Embereth. Okay, they're goblins. They are goblins, but we do get a growth spiral here. Like I said before, we're gonna just growth spiral now in case we find a Thoughtseize. We don't find one. A little sad, but this means you still get to cast Nissa a turn early, which would be good. Opponent already have 4 mana though if they sack the token. They play a Herald's Horn. They could Mux this next turn. Be bad. Thinking about sacking the treasure token. Maybe for a Script Prospector or something. My opponent just swings 1 at me. I can play an island. Yeah, I think we just Maelstrom Pulse their Herald's Horn. Too much of a threat and easy way for them to get way ahead in terms of cards. Also keeps them off of Muxus for a turn. So it's the little wins gotta take. Play Instigator, okay. Wow, so they hit me for 8 here. Well, we get a cry, so we are rewarded. We can even... Oh, wait a minute, gotta check. Last time I tried to do this, I blew myself out because I only had 1 swamp. Okay, so we do have an extra swamp. So we can play Fable Passage. Play Uro. Put another Fable Passage into play. Ooh, we're gonna get rid of my own Uro if I do this. But we're committed, I guess. Gotta do it. I guess the alternative there would have been to play Nissa plus something. Do it that way. It's a little bit of a misplay on my part. Not thinking about Cry hitting Uro even though I had already sacrificed it. We do still have Nissa. We have a Thoughtseize too. And now they're 2 turns away from playing Muxus. Okay, they have a Matron. So, they have to hope that other card isn't already a Muxus. If it is, we'll be in trouble. I guess we'll Thoughtseize first. Okay, it's a Krenko. That's actually pretty good. We have Extinction Event. So we play out Nissa, play out an Overgrown Tomb, plus the Swamp. Back. Okay. Play Snoop, it's another even card. Guess we'll Maelstrom Pulse it. They have an island, or a mountain on top. We're not gonna have any action next turn. So they play out Krenko. Good at draw here. Draw an Uro. Guess we'll start with Uro. See if I draw any Rugal. Get rid of Krenko on its own, then we could just plus Nissa. Impunity. I think we'll just put Fated Pools into play. I have to untap an island in order to get Uro up. I don't think it's terrible. Plus the island, swing out with everything. So I can have plenty of lands afterward. So they go to 2. Wheel Uro. Still have a way to get rid of Krenko with the extinction event. So the alternative here is not killing Krenko. They're gonna get 2 goblins. Default. I think we just have to kill Krenko here. Too risky otherwise. We'll choose even. So they could draw another goblin and then be alive. Okay, so they have a goblin chief here. So if they don't attack, they don't die next turn necessarily. But will plus fitted pools. Don't have any thing to do with the mana, and they'll swing out. They can block both. Chalk breeding pool in. We have a Zygoth Triome. We can at least cycle it. We have plenty of mana. So opponent is in top deck mode, but a single Muxus can change just about anything here. So consciously think about my mana. Okay, there we go. That locks it up. Essence Scatter. We'll do it. Essence Scatter will do it. Have the ult on Nissa too. Okay, my opponent sees the writing on the wall. They concede. Very timely with that Cry of the Carnarium and with that Thoughtseize. So play Grafdigger's Cage. I do think that's good here. Again, we're on the draw, and I don't think Shark Typhoon is that effective really against goblins at all. I want to put in another Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, Languish as well. Got a couple Uros, I guess. I mean, yeah, the lists I've seen have been running a decent amount of Graveyard Hate. At post board, you know, Sultai is one of the other main matchups, so it's not too surprising that they are devoting some resources to hate on graveyards, especially, again, considering there's a, you know, Jund Sacrifice in the mix as well. I'm just kind of deliberating on bringing in a Gargaroth or not. Gargaroth or just keep the Nissas. We'll try this. Game plan is to get to Nissa and live that long and just overwhelm them that way. Okay, so you have Overgrown Tomb here. We have Aether Gusts, we have Grafdigger's Cage, so we got a pretty good hand as long as we hit some more land drops. I guess we'll Thoughtseize first, see if they have like an Abrade or something. The 2 Muxuses. Okay. Do have our Aether Gust though, and we have Grafdigger's Cage. The Muxes aren't going to do anything. And they are going to get hit by Languish and Extinction Event. So I think we have to... We'll either take Chandra or we take the War Chief. War Chief will slow them down. We do have Disdainful Stroke for Chandra. We also have a Languish in hand too, and an Extinction Event, but Snoop is odd and even, so Extinction Event wouldn't hit both. We wanted to Languish, get any future things with the event. I think we'll take Chandra here. We can play a Forest. I guess just play Grafdigger's Cage. One at War Chiefs. Get a Drowned Catacombs, that's kind of nice. That's the turn. Opponent Goblin Matrons here. I guess we'll let it resolve and then just languish. See what they get. It was on a Trash Master or something. But we do have a Disdainful Stroke for one. That's a Krenko, okay. See the next draw too, so we kind of use that to our advantage. Don't think we want to Aether Gust here. Play Breeding Pool. We'll quote unquote eat our vegetables, play Languish. One plays Krenko. Play Feeded Pools. Aether Gust the Krenko before they get to use the ability. Although I guess that could have been nice too if I had tapped it. And done that when they had... Or done that after they had tapped it, right? Because X would be 0 if Krenko's gone. We'll Disdainful Stroke Krenko. Not risk it. Get a Maelstrom Pulse. You can just Growth Spiral, I guess. Excuse me, try to find some action. Put a Forest into play. Now is where I regret taking out all the Uros. When it plays a Muxus. Sure. You don't get anything. Play a Fable Passage. Maelstrom Pulse. And place another Muxus. Yep. Crack a land. So we'll have to find a Nissa right now, I guess. No, we find another Fable Passage. That or a Krasis. Krasis would be great too. Herald's Horn's a little scary. Yeah, Wily Goblin. No. No Goblin at least. Okay, just a tower. Still in this. There we go. Alright. We can do it for 9. I guess we'll do it for 7. I mean a 5/5 shark, right? So that we can play like a counter spell or something if they have a Krenko or a removal spell. Hit a Cry. Guess we'll play Overgrown Tomb tapped. On to Goblin again, that's good. And another Krasis, okay. Sick. The kids say. So, yeah, I mean, this time I don't know if there's any real combination of things I should be afraid of. I think I should probably just go for a 10-10 shark, just to try to end the game. Next turn. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, we're gonna do X is 8, right? But total number of counters is gonna be 10 when we do it that way. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we do. You do it. Grafdigger's Cage is enough to carry us against the Goblin Menace. Ah, Lycotic. Played against him before. He was on Spurred Doom, I think. We're gonna play first though. We will... Playing Sultai ramp here in Historic. And looks okay. We have Growth Spiral and Uro. I think we'll start with the Triome. Excuse me. Probably go... Catacombs. See what my opponent does though. Thoughtseize. T1 Thoughtseize, okay. Snag the Growth Spiral. Okay, we have... Overgrown Tomb we can play out. I want to cycle this Triome. Help fill for Uro. Maybe find some more action here. But okay, my opponent is actually on some kind of Rixis, that looks like. Let's see what they have. Nickel would be bad, Roxa would be bad, but we take the nickel here. Let's play the Drowned Catacomb, I guess. Already have 3 cards in my graveyard, counting Uro. I'll pitch the Swamp. It doesn't really have much else going for them, it seems like, at the moment. So we'll play a Castle Lochthwain past the turn. We have a Fable Passage, okay, so that's another card. They need one more card and then they can... I guess they're still 1 off on red mana. Draw some cards here, try to get more action. We find some, actually. Fatal Push would be nice for Kroxa as well. I guess we'll just play the Fable Passage, pass the turn, cycle, and then play Uro, I guess. Though they have a... we know they have Murderous Rider in hand. I don't play Scarab God. Okay. I guess we'll cycle. Maybe find something, like a counterspell as a scatter. I'll find one, okay. So now we are kind of, what, priced into getting out Uro. If they have another land, they'll be able to kill Uro with their rider and then exile Uro with the effect on the Scarab God. So not great. Not a great spot to be in. I don't think my land choice here really matters too much. So no targets for Fatal Push. Cry is not going to cut it. I guess we Uro first. At least have them. Well, I guess they don't have 7 mana. Ooh, okay. That's actually amazing. Okay, we can Thoughtseize their Murderous Rider away. We'll put a land card on the battlefield. We're all tapped out. We don't have any other ways to interact right now. So we'll Thoughtseize my opponent. They have a Thoughtseize. Okay, we'll hit the Murderous Rider. Play the island, I guess. We do have just enough cards to get Kroxa, and they actually kept a card on top as well with their Scry off the Scarab God. A little scary, a little scary. Thoughtseize first, yep. Have the Fatal Push. So even if I had like played the island and tapped differently there, right, like leaving up a black source or something, I would have just still snagged the Fatal Push. So not the end of the world. I do need to find some answers though, and quick, to Scarab God and Kroxa. So another Uro. I could play it. Or I could attack with my first Uro, maybe have them trade with the Kroxa. And... but I could just... I don't think they'd block with this Scarab God. Yeah, I think we attack with the Uro here. Try to fill the yard a bit. Get rid of their Kroxa. This will put a land on the battlefield. If they trade. Can get Nicol Bolas with their Scarab God next turn if they wanted to. They leave the mana up. So I gotta be aware of that. They have a live discard spell in their yard, just 4 mana away. But they're thinking long and hard here about this block or potential block. And I would too, right? You want to rashly decide on something like this and lose the game. And taking 6 at this point isn't, isn't trivial. They're going to be going down to 4 if they don't block. Okay, so they take the block. Play the Uro. Try to find an answer for the Scarab God. Thoughtseize is not it though. Oh, actually, it might be, because we can Uro out again. Yeah, okay. That is the play. Thoughtseize to an empty hand. So now their only target is going to be Nicol Bolas for Scarab God. We find another Thoughtseize, of course. Okay, so they get Nicol Bolas back. Put one on bottom. They're scrying. Oh, we have the tough choice of attacking or not. We'll see if they attack first. They don't. Okay. So I think we just attack here. Try to do the double block and use Eliminate on their dragon. Oh, it keeps the CMC, so that was just a terrible attack. So my opponent, by not calling my bluff there. That's interesting. That's only black? Interesting. Okay, so I'm double, doubly wrong here. That's funny. Yeah. Opponent could have blown me out if they had called my bluff, but oh, glad they didn't. Opponents use up 3 Thoughtseizes. That's a little encouraging, at least. Opponent plays Murderous Rider on the Uro. So you could eliminate it to kill the Uro and getting rid of the Murderous Rider. We're just going to give them one more card for Kroxa. We could Aether Gust, Uro, get it on top, gain some life, continue stalling. I guess we can just eliminate Uro, keep them off of gaining life. Don't even attack. Sure, fine by me. Okay, well, more Aether Gust. Oh, they get rid of Uro. I guess that was a reason for wanting to Aether Gust my own Uro. I wouldn't have had enough cards to do anything about it in response. They could have just done the same thing, you know, on my turn. The opponent's still playing super conservatively. Okay, now they start attacking. Reid is not going to do it. And this game is over. Sad. Sad. Yeah, hand didn't line up well. Didn't line up well at all, unfortunately. So we can put in a Scoos. I guess take out some Aether Gusts. Maybe put in no Mystical Disputes. Stainful Stroke. Argrath, I guess, just something to, you know, generate more value. I don't think Cry's going to be very good against them. Cage is not going to work really well. It would stop Croxa, but it's not going to stop any Scarab Gods that they might have. Maybe another Shark Typhoon? And this is a off-meta deck, so I don't think Reid was particularly designing his sideboard around it. No surprise that we don't have any amazing silver bullets against them. Have to just hope we hit some better better draws here. I went Moles once, so maybe they're looking for a hand with some Thoughtseize. Keep in mind too, my opponent did hit like 3 Thoughtseizes that game, so they were attacking my hand pretty aggressively. But it seems like they don't have one this time. At least they don't want to use it turn 1. That's fine. We'll go for a T3 Uro. Oh, I have a butter erasure. Gotta hit the Elder Gargaroth. See if they surveil, keep something on top. Okay, we'll play a Drowned Catacomb, play Uro. Draw a card, put a Fabled Passage into the battlefield. Hit another Uro on the draw. Okay, okay. 2 cards in my graveyard, 3 with Fable. I have another Fable, so that'll be 4. Crack the Fable now. I want to play the Blood Crypt tapped. Interesting. Not sure it's too meaningful, we'll see. We can play Uro. We can't play Uro and get a Castle Lockthwain draw off. I guess we just try to fill the yard fast. Play Uro. Resolves, okay. Oh, we get a Growth Spiral, okay. We put Fabled Passage into play. Okay, they have something they can do on 2 mana, maybe a kill spell. Illuminate or something. But now we can Growth Spiral and crack the Fable, then we'll have lands for an Uro, but again, all this mana up is very suspect. Guess we'll play the Overgrown Tomb. Lustrum Pulse. So you can actually draw a card and play Uro. They do have some exile effects too that I'm a little wary of. In Scarab God, so I don't want to get rid of both Uros, I don't think. You know, or at least expose one without having some botters to keep one in the bin. Okay, so we'll Castle Lockthwain on my opponent's instep. Extinction Event. Okay, Thoughtseize is nice. Tapping there. I guess in case we find a Nissa or something. But I guess I probably wouldn't be able to play a Nissa if I found it off of an Uro or something. Opponent plays Negate. Okay. So they have something in their hand they want to keep. But we'll run out Uro now that we have the ability to keep an Uro in the graveyard. Okay, Noxious Grasp. So not Eliminate, but Noxious Grasp. Beaded Pools. I think we'll keep that in the hand, probably cycle it if they don't cast a creature spell. Continue to fill the graveyard up. Opponent with an Ashiok. We'll be able to Maelstrom Pulse it. Not the end of the world. Opponent a little low on lands, it seems like. Oh, okay, Nissa. So we'll play the Overgrown Tomb. Play Nissa. Could do it a little more efficiently, but not worried about that right now. Guess we'll, and I probably should have been more cautious and not tapped Castle Ardenvale there. That's okay. Send up my opponent. See if they want to block. Don't. Maelstrom pulse Ashiok. Pass the turn. So they were the Essence Scatter. They only have 4 cards in hand though, and they missed the land drop last turn. Play Nickel Bolus. Counter it. Okay. So we go to game 3. Nickel isn't enough. They needed Dime Bolus, but they didn't have him. Okay. So now we're on the draw. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Extinction Event is a good way to answer, you know, Scarab God. And we have these Fatal Pushes, so maybe we swap out for a Negate or something. Maybe try to... That's the thing too, like if they are on the play, they can Thoughtseize and then Thought Erasure, so they're going to be really aggressive, and my Negates might not be that great. And, you know, once they start seeing my hand, I can start playing around them. So, like, maybe I should be thinking about things like Narset, ways to just generate more advantage. But on the other hand, Narset on the draw is kind of risky. But my opponent doesn't seem like they have the most aggressive, you know, turns 2 through 3. I have scary stuff on 5, no doubt. You know, Ashiok, Scarab God. But below that, it just seems like, you know, maybe they're running out Croxos or something, or playing some removal. We did see Noxious Grasp, so playing Narsets might get around a little bit of that anyway. If we take out the Shark Typhoon, put in a couple of Narsets, and hope that's going to be enough to carry us here. And that my opponent doesn't get, you know, an absurd amount of hand hate this time. We'll see. We'll see. 2 Fatal Pushes. We mulligan this. I think we have to. This will send back a Fatal Push. When it starts with a Fatal Passage, passes the turn. I have pools tapped. Do find an Uro, that'll be nice. We hit that 3rd land drop, which odds are looking good. We have 2 draws to hit it. Untapped is saying we have a 49% chance, so good odds. Opponent though, yep, Thought Erasure. Might snag the Uro there. Snag the Maelstrom Pulse. Interesting. Must be getting ready to play a permanent I'm not gonna like. Maybe another Ashiok or something, but I keep the land or the card on top. They don't surveil it away. We do find a Fable Passage, so we do hit our 3rd land. But I think we just want to make sure we can run out Uro here. Again, opponent not too scary in terms of creatures on 3. They Thoughtseize, sure. So like I was fearing, more hand hate. Okay. Back the land, I guess. An island. There's a Nissa. Hey, Uro resolves at least. Okay, we hit another Nissa. Nice. God, that is miserable. Tracy's on 3. I'm not even going to draw a card. So I bet they have like an Ashiok they're going to play here. They sniped off that. Oh, Nicol Bolas. Okay, that's going to be it.